This is Smita Mangesh Jinnarkar. Welcome you in this video section that is about computer networking. Students, today we are going to see about Unit 6 TCP and IP protocol layering. In my previous video section that is Unit 5, already we have covered OSI layer. Basically, OSI layer consists of 7 layers and TCP/IP protocol layering cover the 4 layers. So that things today we are going to see deeply. Hope everyone is fit and fine at home and you are watching my videos also. So over here, TCP and IP protocol consists of network interface layer, internet layer, transport layer as well as application layer. This is a simple comparison between OSI model and TCP/IP protocol layering. So within the OSI reference modeling, total 7 layers get used. Already we have seen these things in my previous video. And today we are going to concentrate on these 4 layers which can be used within TCP and IP layer. Now first one, that is a network interface layer. This is also known as network access layer. It is in the charge of putting TCP and IP packets on the system medium, and it also accepts the TCP IP packets of the system medium. So this is intended to be free of the system access technique, casing organization as well as the medium. ARP, IP and RARP get used within these, and the full form of these things are already mentioned over here. So basically internet layer which are used for directing the capabilities as well as conversion of internet layer such as IP, ARP, ICMP and IGMP. So over here you can see the address resolution protocol is in the charge of determination of the internet layer location to the network layer. So the Internet Group Management Protocol is in the charge of administrations of the IP multicasting bunches. Next one is a transport layer. The transport layer, otherwise called host-to-host transport layer, is in the charge of giving the application layer session as well as datagram. And main protocol get used, that is a TCP and UDP. This TCP provides one-to-one connection oriented reliable communication services, and UDP provides one-to-one or one-to-many. UDP is a connectionless and unreliable communication service. After that, third layer is the application layer. This application layer which consists the protocol such as your HTTP, FTP, SMPT, Telnet. Now HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This is utilized to exchange the document that makes the web pages of the World Wide Web. So basically, whenever we are using any HTML coding, we are using, this HTTP get used over there. FTP is used for exchanging the files, that is a file transfer protocols. SMPT get used whenever the message gets exchanged, that is a simple mail transfer protocol. And the last not the least, that is a Telnet, utilized for signing on remotely to the system has. Now there are certain examples of application layer. It gives the graph demonstrations the data stream descending through the every layer on the sender host. After that, the track which the information sent and got the information could be kept up by this TCP protocol. IP also includes the information which are originating from the transport layer. This data would be helped in bundling as well as we can verifies that particular information exchange from the physical media that is carried out the appropriately. So for that purpose, basically application layer get used. This data basically goes on physical media and achieves the designation host. This is a simple difference between TCP/IP and OSI. Basically, whenever we will say about the TCP/IP, this implementation of OSI model, and OSI is a reference model. TCP/IP model around which internet is developed, and OSI it is a theoretical model. TCP/IP has a 4 layer and OSI has a total 7 layer. TCP/IP considered more reliable and OSI considered a reference tool. Within the TCP/IP, protocols are not strictly defined, but within the OSI, boundaries were there for the particular, defining the protocols. TCP/IP is a horizontal approach and OSI is a vertical approach. TCP/IP combines the session and presentation layer in the application layer, but within the OSI has a separate session as well as presentation layer. TCP/IP protocols were developed first and then the model was developed. But within the OSI, model was developed before the development of protocol. TCP/IP supports only connection-less communication in the network layer. OSI support connection-less as well as connection-oriented communication in the network layer. TCP/IP protocols depends the standard, but OSI protocols are independent standard. So that is a big difference between TCP/IP as well as OSI modeling. A protocol which is situated of the standard that empowers the PC to knit and transmit the information each other. This is likewise called an communication protocol. TCP and IP, which suits the communication protocol that is utilized to join has on the internet and on the most other PC arrangements too. This makes it flexible for anyone with the sufficient specialized information to enhance it, as well as it is a very good with basically all the advanced working framework, and therefore it is empowers any frameworks to correspond with some other framework. It is likewise good for all intents as well as purpose a wide range of pieces equipment and system arrangement. It gives the dependable information convenience also. Now basically what is the IP? IP is nothing but Internet Protocol. It is a numerical labels which assign to each device connected to the computer network, which uses the IP for the communication. So basically IP is used for the communication. IP address act as an identifier for a specific machine on a particular network. IP address is also called IP number and internet address. So it specifies the technical format of addressing as well as packet schemes. Most networks combine the IP with the TCP. It is also allows developing virtual communication between the destination as well as source. Now, what is a IPv4 and IPv6? Student, these things deeply we will see in my next video section also. That is the difference between these, similarities between these two. First of all, we will see the little bit introduction part of IPv4. It is the first version of IP. It was deployed for the production of ARPANET in 1983. Today, it is the most widely used for IP versions. It is used to identify the devices on a network using an addressing system. So basically, whenever we will say IPv4, so total 32-bit address schemes allows us to store the addressing. Features of its connectionless protocol. It allows creating simple virtual communication. It requires less memory and easy to remembering addresses. Already support the protocol's millions of devices. It offers video libraries as well as conferences also. Now we will move towards the IPv6. This is again the version of Internet Protocol, and Internet Engineer Task Force. This is invented in 1994. The design and the development of that suits now is called IPv6. So this version is being deployed to fulfill the needs for more internet address. So basic aim of this IPv6 is to resolve the issues which are associated with IPv4, and that's why this get used. And over here 128 bits get used. Now features of IPv6: hierarchical addressing and routing infrastructure, stateful and stateless configuration, supports for quality of service, and ideal protocols for neighboring nodes for interaction. Now, let's see the difference between the address. As already within the introduction part I have told, IPv4 is a 32 bits binary numbers, and within the IPv6 128 bits binary number addresses get used. So IPv4 address are separated by periods, while IPv6 address separated by colons. So whenever we want to give the separation between that particular binary numbers, if IPv4 address is there, so that bits get separated by period sign, and IPv6 address are separated by colon sign. Both are used to identify the machines connected to the network, and in principle they are same, but they are different in how basically they will work. This is a small difference between these two. IPv4 is a 32-bit IP address. IPv6 is a 128-bit IP address. Over here dot get used, and here colon sign supposed to be over here. So over here colon sign will come. This semicolon sign will become over here, and over here dot operator is there. So you can see over here colon sign is there. Either you can give this colon sign for separation, and it contains the hexadecimal, and over here dot operator get used. IPv4 is a 32 bits IP address. This is a 128 bit address. This address separated by dot, you can see over here within the example, and over here colon sign is over here. So this is a colon sign get used. the number of header file are 12 and over here 8. Length of header is a 20 and over here 40 length supposed to be there. It has checksum field and it doesn't have any checksum fields. Further difference, that is a type addresses, unicast, broadcast and multicast. Now over here in IPv6 any cast get used. Number of classes, it offers 5 different classes in IP address, that is class A to E, and over here in IPv6 it allows unlimited number of IP address. Now when we will say about the configuration, within the IPv4 newly installed system before it can be communicate with each other, and in IPv6 the configuration is an optional part depending upon the function needs. Few more differences are over here, that is IPv4 supports the virtual length subnet mask. IPv6 doesn't support virtual length subnet mask. Now fragmentation is done by sending and forwarding routers. Over here it is done by sender only. RIP, that is a routing information protocol, supports by the routed daemons, and over here it uses the static router. So RIP doesn't support it by IPv6. Now if we will say about the network configuration, so it is a manually or with the help of DHCP, and over here it supports auto configuration capabilities. If we will say about the best features, so widespread use within this, that is a network address translation device. Over here it allows the direct accessing because of vast address space. Now address mask, use of design the network from host portion, it is not used over here. Then SMPT protocols used for the system management. Over here that SMPT does not support through IPv6. Then the next part, that is a relatively constant network topology to which would restrict mobility as well as interoperability capabilities, and over here within IPv6 this is embedded in the network devices. If we will say about the security, so IPv4 was not designed with security in the mind, but over here within the IPv6 Internet Protocol security is built up into IPv6 protocol. If we will say about the packet size, it consists of 576 bytes and over here 1208 bytes without any fragmentation. If we will say about the packet fragmentation, IPv4 allows from the router and sending the host, and IPv6 only send the host. So that is the difference between IPv4 as well as IPv6. Students, hope this TCP IP layer protocol as well as IPv6 and IPv4, which are IP's protocols, get clear to you. Thank you students for watching my video. Keep commenting, sharing, as well as those who have not subscribed yet, subscribe my channel. Thank you students for your great support.